Introduce yourself.
Hi, it's Wednesday, July 2nd. 2014. My name is Michael Masterson. I'm with the Silverlight Neighborhood Council District Collective, and today we are interviewing Mr. Mike Buhen, who is the owner of the Tiki on Sunset Boulevard. And the cameraman is Mark Simon, with Cheryl Revkin on the committee too. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for giving yourself to this. So this interview is about Silverlight, a little bit how your business fits into the community and a little bit about the history of the place and you. Let's start first of all with you. Just tell me your full name and where you're born and where you're from.
Michael Buhen. I was born in Los Angeles in 1946.
Okay.
World War B.
Yeah. Which hospital were you born in?
Queen of Angels.
Okay. And where did your family live at that time?
Right here in LA.
Were they in Silver Lake or in
actually right down the street here.
So you came home to Silver Lake?
Yeah, this area. Yeah. I've been raised in this area all my life.
Where did you go to high school?
John Warner.
Okay, so you are very local.
Yeah.
So your parents, so let's go back and talk about your parents and your mom and dad, and tell us about them and when they came to LA.
Well, my dad was born in the Philippines, and he came to LA when he was 18 years old. And my mom, she was born here, but her father was born in Czechoslovakia. So I'm half and half. I'm half Filipino on my dad's side, and half Czech German on my mom's side.
And they both came here as, he was a young man and she came,
well, she was born
here. And how did they know?
They met here, actually my mom was a dancer and my dad was working, we first came here as a bellhop at Figueroa Hotel downtown LA. And he worked there for a period, and the manager told him, he says, you know, I want you to start from the bellhop. He went into the elevator. And my dad used to joke about that, saying, yeah, I'm moving on up. Because I was taking people up to the top floors. And then right after that, he got a job at the Blvd Hotel. I was working there. And just before Prohibition, the manager sent him to bartending school. Because Prohibition was in 1933. So he went to bartending school, and it just so happened that Don Goldman was opening up on the beach club in LA. And my dad applied for that job and got it. And I was one of the first bartenders with Don Gunn, who was down the beach corner opening up down the beach corner in LA.
Was that the original Don the Beach?
That was the original one. That was in the Caddy place.
And what year was that?
1934.
So he was the bartender at the original Don the Beach?
He was one.
One of them.
Actually, Don Gunn hired 4 Filipino boys to assist him. He had 2 to wait tables and 2 to help him in the back of the bar. My dad was one of the other bartenders. Make the drinks. And that's where tropical drinks actually were invented. The original Zombie came out of there. The Navy Grog, the Gold Cup, all of those drinks came out of Don the Beachcomber in 1934.
So would you say that was the original Tiki bar on the beach?
That was the original tropical bar. Also in Hollywood with Don the Beachcomber.
Okay. And did your father help create any of those drinks?
Oh, he was right there. Yeah. He was right there when they started making them.
So
that's what. See, what happened was a little history of right after Prohibition ended. Rum was really dirt cheap. You could buy the best rums for like 50, 60 cents a quart. Aged rums. Everybody was drinking bourbon, scotch, gin, vodka. I say, what do you do with rum? Well, you either mix it with Coca-Cola or you drink it. So Don Gunn was a very smart man. He found out, well, it was so cheap. He started experimenting with it. Some lime juice, sweet, some pineapple juice, orange juice. Tasted it, like, it tastes really good. So what he did is he opened a little place off of Hollywood Boulevard, McCann Place, Island. And it was like the Tiki. It was a bar, 5 tables, but it was a lot wider and longer. And he decorated it not of it. And what happened was the movie industry started, took off. The next year, a fellow by the name of Victor Bergeron, he had a place in Oakland called the Tiki, which was a beer bar. And he came down and saw what was happening. And he went back, shut his place down, and remodeled it. That was the owner of Trader Vic's. And the rest is history. And Trader Vic's is credited with inventing the mine time.
Was that around the same time?
Yeah, 1934.
So Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic's sort of came up around the same.
Well, Don the Beachcomber was the first Trader Vic's who came out here.
So going back to your dad, so your dad worked for Don and the original Don the Beachcomber. And how long did he stay there?
He didn't work there that long. He only worked for not quite a year. And next year they opened up another place across from the Chinese Theater. It was the Seven Seas. And my dad got a job working there as a head bartender. And my mom used to joke, she said, you know, when your dad got that job, he was making $10 more per week as a head bartender. In the 30s, that was a lot more. So she said that with that $10 extra, they could pay the rent for the apartment for the month, stock the refrigerator, and still have some money left over to go out and party on an extra $10. A loaf of bread was 5 cents.
Right.
So that was a lot of money.
He was making good money.
Very good money, yeah.
So they moved. So how long did he end up staying there? Your father, Ray, but we should say his name.
Ray. Yeah. I guess maybe a little more. My dad worked a lot of tropical places before he opened this place in 61. Actually, he opened up a lot of tropical bars and a lot of regular bars. He was one of the original bartenders who opened up the dress room the original.
Where else did he work?
The Seven Seas, China Trader, Burbank there,
I am an expert in the tropical drink department.
He worked a lot of places. Before he opened this place, I guesstimate he probably bartended at about 60 to 80 other places.
How many?
60 to 80. My dad bartended 60 years before he passed on. Yeah, it's a lot of experience.
So tell us, how did this happen? How was the Tiki time?
What happened was, my dad wanted the tennis to be a bar. He was thinking in terms of making this into a bartending school. And it just so happened that a fellow was selling his liquor license. My dad got wind of it, so he went out to this place, and there was 3 other guys who were bidding on the license. The owner of the license, he took my dad's dad. And what happened was, one of the guys who was the one of the license, he was waiting outside for my dad to come out. And when he came out, he said, Ray, I'll tell you right now, I'll give you $1,000 more right now if you sell the license to me. And again, my dad, well, you know what, let me check with my wife first, because I want to get back to you, but give me your phone number, I'll give you a call back. When he came back, he told my mom he got the liquor license. So she said, well, you know, rather than selling it to this guy, why don't you just have a place right here, why don't you just make that into a little bar? You know, the tropical drinks and everything, so that's what happened. We started making it in 1960. Everything in here, I helped with a couple other guys. We brought down the Nipres, the battle, the court, the tablecloth, the wall, we put in a waterfall. My dad was going to build the counter also, too, but when you get a liquor license, the Board of Equalization, they want you to open up in 90 days. They want you to sit on it because they want to see sales tax. So he had somebody else build the bar. He was going to build that too. My dad was not just a bartender, he could have been a contractor. You can see he did all of this. He gave him a screwdriver, a hammer, nails, and a 2x4, 2x8. He went to town. Yeah, he loved it.
So what was this building before that?
Originally, this place was built by my grandfather on the mother's side. It was a music store. My grandfather came from Czechoslovakia, and he played in vaudeville, violin, and viola. And right after he broke, water bill went out. What happened was most of the people that he worked with went to Hollywood because the talkies came in. And my grandfather did, he stayed and he started repairing musical instruments. So he repaired anything in strings, violin, viola, and cello. And he built this building in 1940 with 40 of them. And for about 5 years they repaired musical instruments in here in Sydney. And he moved down to Orange County. And this place was vacant for a couple of years, and then that's when I said, well, you know, here, this place is here, so we can start making it into music.
So the building has basically always been in your family.
Right.
It's 1940.
1940. A little old, but it's unique.
That's very definitely unique. So this was your grandfather. He was a musician. And did he play for silent films? Was that in the orchestra?
No, he played vaudeville. He played
just
some stories, Harry Houdini, and all the great vaudeville guys. I mean, he was a guy back there. He was actually was a conductor too.
What was his name?
Frank Forel.
How do you spell it?
F-O-R-A-L was the last name.
So the property's in your family's hands. Your dad decides he's going to open up originally a bartending school.
Right.
Here, that was his idea. So the liquor license came into play. And how old were you when you were helping build this? How old were you?
I was 18 at the time. Starting young.
And coming here after school to build things.
Well, yeah, just helping them out a little.
Yeah. So what was the crowd like in 1965? Who was coming into this?
It was a lot different because we played tropical music. We had real tapes. It wasn't like we're now, we're playing like rock and roll and jazz and whatever. Back then it was all, Hawaiian, nice tropical music. Don Hole, yeah, all that stuff. It was really beautiful melodic music.
So was the bar a success from the beginning?
Yeah, it was a lot. We had a lot of following from other places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, say, oh, Ray has a place, and so they came and supported him when he opened up this little place. So, yeah, it was tough. And at the time, Allied Artists was next door here. So my mom and dad, when they opened up this place at 11 a.m. in the morning, and they caught the lunch crowd, and they stayed open until 2 o'clock at night. But a lot of the stage crew came in at noon, and at that time, I was a bottle of beer. So I used to come to the door because I wasn't old enough to get in here. I wanted to talk to them. Yeah, this place was packed because everybody was in here smoking and drinking their beer and having a martini and whatever. And then they went back to work and came out. Artists.
So that was the studio next door.
Right. 1960.
What were the other businesses in the area at that time around here?
The Akron was across the street, the original Akron.
So tell us about that.
Well, the original Akron was owned by two brothers. I don't recall their names, but it was right across the street here. But before that, it was a tire place. They took and used tires and made them refurbished. Yeah, and then they got into that store, and they had a little. It was a very unique store. If you remember, the Akron was a place where it was like the forerunner of one imports, which was very unique. I remember I used to go in there, and they had all this rattan and agua and stuff, and that stuff was like, wow, this is unique. You don't find it anywhere. And I ended up buying something, but then I'd look at it later and go, what am I going to use this for? But it's just unique. I got to buy it just to get out of this place. It was different. You didn't find that anywhere else.
Your place to put it here.
Well, yeah, we do. We have a backwards clock that was over there.
They came from the Akron. That's great.
That was some of the stuff they had over there. Yeah, it was really unique, crazy stuff.
So that was, and the Vista Theater was down the street, of course, and
The Vista.
Vista was there. And then what were the other? Was there other businesses? Was that where El Chavo is now? What was there?
El Chavo was an Italian restaurant. I can't remember the name of it, but it was an Italian restaurant. El Chavo came in. Well, actually, it was Blvd for El Chavo. And the Itasco moved across the street where Acapulco is. And that building was a storage place for Capitol Records. And they bought the building and remodeled it. And that moved across the street. And when El Chavo came in where it is right now.
So did you started working here when you were 21?
Right.
And have been working here ever since?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and how long did your father continue to work here?
He bartended, he passed away in 99 and when he was 90, but he's still working until he's 95. He loved bartending. He loved people.
Yeah.
We had a big following. Through the years we've had, I wasn't here in the 60s, but my mom and dad told me that Marlon Brando came in quite a bit because one of the girls that worked over at Channel 7 in Crossbar, he was dating her and she brought him in and he fell in love with the place. And he used to come in quite a bit.
Any other kind of celebrity hang out here?
In the 70s, Jack Palance came in quite a bit. And he was an interesting artist. In the 90s, Nicolas Cage came in a lot. He was living up here somewhere in Los Feliz when he was married to Patricia Arquette. And he came in just before he got the Oscar in Las Vegas. It was kind of funny because he used to talk to my dad, and he asked my dad, he says, how come I can't get because he was always trying to get a drink called a pussy buffet. He says, no bartender really wants to make it anymore. He says, well, that's a drink, it's all made of liqueurs, and you put it in a frappe glass. And the heavier liqueurs set at the bottom, but you have to spoon them in, and they all float. And there's like 7 different layers of liqueurs, and it's really a colorful drink. But it's real, it's sweet. But it takes a long time to make, and we're saying, well, nobody wants to really make it. And he wants to joke and say, well, it takes a long time. And we said, well, we have the ingredients. And what if out of one ingredient we didn't have it to make for me? He said, Nicolas Cage said, well, if I bring it in, will you make it for me? I said, yeah, of course. If you bring it in, we'll make it for you. But he was a cool guy. If you talk to him, he'd talk to you. It's just like the party attitude, like everybody.
So what are kind of some of the significant milestone occasions that have happened here? Like big parties or anniversaries?
For our 50th anniversary, that was celebrated for 4 days. And, we opened it, normally we open up at 4 o'clock, but we had to open up at 2 o'clock that week. We had lines all night long in here. It was crazy, but it was fun. It was a little hole in the wall. It's a bar and 5 tables, but people had to wait, but everybody that got in, we gave away a lot of stuff, and everybody just had a good time.
What's your capacity? How many people do you have?
We have 50, that's standing. Yeah, we see 35.
So in the 60s, was there a lot of, you have a lot of alternative lifestyle people coming in the 60s and 70s, or was it more or less your regular going back to store?
We used to get a lot of people from all over. In the 70s, we used to have a lot of people come in, and that was the disco days. And a lot of people would come in and have a drink here, and they go to Hollywood and they go to discos. And a lot of times they come back afterwards because, you really didn't get a good drink at the disco. So, yeah, we're going to get a good drink here, feel good, and have a party out and dance. So then you go to a disco, you want to drink a beer, a shot or something, because you're not really going to get a cocktail. You go there to a party and dance, not to drink. You want to drink, you want to go to a regular bar.
We noticed you have a very extensive list of specialty cocktails. And so did your dad or you guys create a lot of those?
A lot of the drinks, yeah. Well, our signature drink is a raisin steak. That drink, there's a little story that goes behind it. There's a fellow by the name of Gil, Gary Ogden. And on the menu, his favorite drink is called Anti-Nantin. Anti-Nantin is a term in Tagalog in the Philippines, and that means a witch or witch's brew, and that was the name of the drink. And that particular drink, I think we had our own flavor, and that was his favorite drink. And one night he was sitting at the bar, and he was drinking it, and he asked for another one. Well, my dad picked up another mix and made him what is now a raisin steak. But when he tasted it. He said, "Ray, this doesn't taste right. Take a taste." So he took a sip out of the drink and he started to throw it out. Bill said, "No, you remember what you put in it?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, make me another one just like that." So he made him a second one and told the guy next to him, "Take a sip and pass it down the bar." So everybody was taking a sip out of the drink. And I go, "Hey, this is a pretty good drink. What's the name of this drink?" And Gil goes, "It's Ray's Mistake." And that's how we got the name for the drink. That was 1968. That became our signature drink.
What goes into a Ray's Mistake?
Well, we have a secret mix that goes into it, but it has some lime juice, and some passion fruit, and rum. So it's loaded with dark rum. That's our flavor. It gives it a unique taste.
So that's your most popular drink?
Yeah. The last drink we have another drink called the Buhen, which is a coconut pineapple rum drink. That's right. It's like a pina colada, but it's a lot better because a pina colada has a coconut oil they use in it. We use a coconut powder, so you can drink a lot more of that. But the oil, personally, I could drink maybe one or two of those pina coladas. The second one I can't drink anymore because it's too oily. But with the Buhen, it's got the coconut powder, so you can drink more. Works with your stomach better.
So have you seen, I know in recent years there's been a real resurgence in the Tiki kind of culture and all that kind of stuff. And you guys have could endure it from the beginning of it practically, your dancers. So have you seen a change in terms of the...
Yeah, right now there's a lot of places now, there's like a subculture, a Tiki culture. It's getting new followers and there's a lot of new Tiki places opening up, actually all over the world, but throughout the States and right here in Southern California. One time, the original one was done by Gomer and then Trader Vic's, and then after those two opened up, countless hundreds of places opened up, 50s, 60s, it was real popular, and then it took a downsurge and a lot of places closed, and now there's smaller, larger places opening up now, and we're getting back into this because it's not just a place that's escapism. We come into a place like this and just escape whatever's out there. Right now, the Sunset Boulevard, we come in here, you're in some South Pacific place, it's escapism, that's what it's all about.
Have you ever had any sort of riots or altercations in here?
We've had a few years, but most of them have been outside. But actually, the riots, yeah, they came real close because Circuit City was looted across the street. They looted that place for about almost a week, which was kind of a joke because what the police did is they came down and they chased everybody out of the store. And everybody went up the block here and down to the other side, and they waited for the police to leave. And then they left a couple hours later. They went back and looted it. But you come and chase everybody out. It was like the Keystone Cops. They just chased everybody out. What was really bad was the National Guard would come in. And for 2 days, I talked to them. They were across the street. And they were laughing about it because they had their M16s. And for two solid days, they had their M16s, but they didn't have any ammo. For somebody's right idea. So for the armory to separate the M16 from the ammo. So they didn't have them all together. They had the ammo somewhere else. So when they got their M16s, they had them, but they didn't have any ammo for 2 days.
Are you open for business?
No. It's kind of modern. It came real close, and we were like, they will come over here, but luckily they did. But from what I understand, they only got into the showrooms and get into their vaults. They didn't lose a lot of the stuff that was in the vaults. The showrooms, yes.
What do we have here?
Here's an old picture of
What is that a picture of, Mike? Is that this one?
That's part of
What year?
That was in the 60s and 70s.
These are all very cool.
Here's a picture of when he opened the place in 61. Right next to it is a sign that's called the Left-Handers Club. And what that was pretty unique. That was a club that people joined, and they paid like $10 to join it, and you got a card called the Left-Handers Club. And what that was you got ordered to drink if you were a member of the club. You couldn't drink out of the straw. If you were left-handed, you had to pick it up with your right hand and drink out of it. Right-handed, you had to pick it up with your left hand. If you were right-handed and you drank out of your right hand, then you had to flip over $1. And at the end of the year, my dad threw this luau, everything was paid for. And they were a lot of fun because we had entertainment and we had Hawaiian food punch with alcohol, food, dancing. It was a lot of fun.
This was your dad. What year was this taken? This picture of your dad?
That was the same year.
Same year. Okay.
Here's a picture of the. Here's the Tiki in 1968.
This is when it first opened then.
Okay. We had a lot of tap closets outside and stuff.
Very cool. Your dad built all of this?
Oh yeah.
Including the sign. You make the sign.
Well, actually, my grandfather made that sign.
Your grandfather made this. Is that still out in the original sign?
It's still out inside, except not this the Tiki here. Somebody actually, we had that bolted on. Somebody climbed up there and stole it. It's a unique carving because what it is, it's a palm tree that's inverted because the top is the roots. So it looks like the Tiki has hair, but that's the roots of the palm tree. So it's inverted, so it's carved upside down. It's really a unique Tiki. Somebody, I don't know, sitting somewhere, it's amazing. Yeah, this picture of me and my dad. That's when I had black hair.
You were a bit younger.
Well, here's another word that was left. I wish I had some pictures inside. I couldn't find the other pictures I was looking for. There's just another picture of my son and myself, and that's the original.
That's your son Mike, right?
That was the original door that was outside, and now it's inside.
Were you afraid someone would see it?
A lot of people walk through that door. That's the original door.
It's pretty great, actually. I remember that. So you were in the Sunset Junction days. Were you part of that, or you part of that?
No, we never actually got into doing anything with days of care. I was just too busy always working here. Right now it's just myself and my son, my little older son Michael, and Mark.
You wanted to, I was reading in the LA Weekly article, you're one of the unique parts in LA where people can still smoke.
Right.
Can you explain that? Why?
Yeah, because a lot of people want to know because there's ashtrays. Why do we have the ashtrays? Well, when that ordinance was written, it was written to protect the employee from secondhand smoke, not the public. I explained to a lot of people, well, is that why you can smoke this? Yeah, because we're owner-operated. If we had an employee, if we had another bartender or a waiter or a waitress, that would be an employee. And the employee would have to be here 8 hours or more. The public can be here 8 minutes and leave. So it was enacted to protect the employee from secondhand smoke, not the public. And we're owner-operated, but the drawback to that is we have to do everything ourselves. We have to clean it, restock it, and work it. So we can't hire anybody else. If we do it, then that's an employee.
then you have to enforce them.
Right.
But you must be very unique.
We're probably the only bar, I guess, in LA right now where you can smoke indoors.
I think that's a pretty unique factor. Really.
Yeah, it is kind of unique.
So what's is there a favorite story you have about a customer here or something that happened here or something? You think when somebody asks you, what's one of your favorite memories? There must be many, I know.
Yeah, one of them was kind of unique too. Was kind of funny was when Nicolas Cage came. He had a black Rolls Royce and was parked out front. And this other couple used to come in here a lot. He brought him in with me. He was married to Patricia Arquette. They were sitting at the table in the corner there. And two of our regular customers, they go, Mike, who's the Rolls Royce is that? And that's Nicolas Cage. So they went over and started bugging him and talking to him. And they ended up buying him a drink called Green Lizard, which is it's a shot of 151 rum, and it's filled with green chartreuse, which is a liqueur that's made in France by Cartouche Blondes, and that's 110 proof. So it's a straight shot of alcohol, basically, which is almost 200 proof. They gave it to Nicolas Cage, and he's sitting at the table and he's looking at it. Hey, go ahead and drink it. And he goes, well, what is it? Well, it's just a green lizard. What's in it? And they wouldn't tell him. He was very hesitant about drinking it. And he goes, well, no, you just shoot it down. You know, and so it took him like about 20, 30 minutes before he actually drank it. And he shot it down and his eyeballs popped out. It's like drinking fireball. It's 200 proof. So what's funny about the story is that a week later, one of the guys came back in and he goes, hey, Mike, I didn't tell you, it's so funny. The other guy was checking out Costco here in Los Feliz. And I look over in the next aisle and Nicolas Cage was checking out with his son. And I said, hey, Mr. Cage, how you doing? He said, he looked at me and he said, do I know you? And he said, yeah, we've been back to that little place and since at the Tiki. He said, oh yeah, you're one of those guys that bought me that half-top drink. They started laughing. Yeah.
How old are some of your old? How long have people been drinking here, Mike? Like, what's the history of customers?
Well, we're always open on New Year's Eve. We've been doing that for years now. We still have some people that have been coming in here from the 60s that want to be here on New Year's Eve. We decorated with mass swords, balloons. At 12 o'clock, it's chaotic in here. You can't hear yourself in it, but everybody has a great time. A lot of people that have come in since the 60s want to be here because they want to bring in the New Year's right. And we've had, I don't know how many people have actually met here and started dating and got married. And then people come back and say, you know, Tiki's kind of special to us because we met here and started dating and now we're married. Some people still come back, but I know a lot of people don't because I know they're not married
Well, you have clearly it's a family affair. Your son's so have they been working here since they were 21 too? Or?
A little after 21. I had another funny story. There's one guy that was in here one night and he was partying out and he met this other young lady and they were partying. They hit it off. They were just having a great old time. And the next week, this guy came back in. He said, Mike, you remember I was here last Friday night and I was partying out with Memphis, that young lady. I said, okay, so well, guess what happened? After we left here, we continued partying and we went to Las Vegas. And we were just having a great old time and I don't know what we did, but all of a sudden we woke up and we actually got married that next day. And we woke up and the next morning we go, what the hell did we just do? We looked at each other and we said, we better rectify this. And so we went and we got divorced the next day. This is a true story. So we just partied out, we got married, and then we got divorced too.
And it all started here.
It started here, yeah. He came back to tell us. He was laughing. He said, "This is true story." He said, "Yeah." It was like partying out, and we looked at each other like, "What the hell did we do?"
So what about the future? What's going to happen here? You're going to work here till you're 85 too?
Well, my health holds out. I'm going to do this as long as I can. We're going on 54 years here. So it's just one day at a time. It's a little small place, but it's a lot of work here. It's kind of unique. You know, it's we've got a really archery stand down at each door, and everybody has a great time. It's so small that you're elbow to elbow with somebody, and you're going to meet somebody. You're going to say, "Hey, what do you drink? What's in your drink here?" And you're almost forced to talk to somebody. That's what people like. You meet people. You're right next to them. You're not like across the room where you have to walk up to them because you're looking at them. Like I'm looking at you right now. You're like,
do you have grandchildren?
we have a granddaughter. She's pretty, 2 years old.
So there's a future generation that can take over.
Well, I don't know. That's my son's daughter, but he says, I don't know about her coming in here.
She might have a boyfriend.
She might meet him here.
Yeah, who knows?
You guys have any more questions? Well, really.
I just wondered, were you drafted into the service during the Vietnam War, or were you able to stay out and run the bar?
No, I wasn't at the time. I might as well tell you, this is kind of a funny story because I don't know how I got out of the service either, but I have a sneaky suspicion. What happened was when I turned 18, Secret Service down in South Florida, downtown LA, and I went down there and I was standing outside with a bunch of other guys. This one guy that went to Marshall with me, his name was Mike Matthias. He was down there. I was standing outside, and all of a sudden, this guy comes rushing up and he's yelling at Mike, 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 and he throws his arms around me and starts hugging me, and I kind of stood back and looked at this guy. The guy was like, had long hair and a Jesus robe and sandals and a beard. He said, "Don't you remember me?" And I go, "I tell you the truth, no, who are you?" He goes, "My name's Mike Matthias. And I went to Marshall with you and we played in the rock and roll band together." I go, "Oh, wow, yeah, Mike, how you doing?" And I didn't recognize him because he was totally in the 60s. He was a total hippie type guy. I said, "Well, at the time he was playing in a band, the Purple Onion, which was on Santa Monica nightclub." And he said, "I'm the house band there. I can't go into the service now because I got a brand new Cadillac and I'm making all this money." And he said, "I get all these documents from the doctors here. And there was a baby, he had water on the head, all this stuff." We talked for a little while, and then I said, "Look, Mike, if you get out of this or finish, wait for me and let's go have some beers and then we'll catch up on the old times." I went through mine and I waited for him and he never came out. But I called his house and his mom answered, and she said, I said, "This is Mike Buhen, you know, I went to high school with some guy. We met at Selective Service and you guys learned what happened." I said, "Well, so to speak, my son, once you start trying to get out, they're going to give you the third degree." Because he had all these things trying to get out of it. And they're going to really put you under the microscope trying to get out of the service. But they, in other words, they took him. Anyway, that was one story. But what happened with me was, after we took all these tests and everything, I went in this one room with this one fellow. I sat down and he goes, "Where are your papers?" And I go, "Right here." And he's like, "Oh yeah," he kept asking me, "Did you get good grades in high school?" "Yeah." "How do you get along with your peers? What are you doing now?" They kept asking, "Well, what do you think about this war we're in Vietnam?" And I go, "Well, to tell you the truth, I don't have an opinion on it. I just thought it was gone." You know, and he goes, "Well, why?" You know, because I have better things to do with my life right now. And he kept asking me all these questions, but he always kept coming back like, well, what do you feel about this war? Don't you feel, are we right or are we wrong in this war? And he kept coming back with this question, and finally, I was getting kind of pissed off, and I got to go, you know, frankly, I don't give a damn, man. I don't care about that. I think we should be there. And he jumps off the chest and he goes like this, and he goes in my face, "You're as good as in." And I'm going like, and then he runs out of the room. And I'm going like, oh, that's it. And I could go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And somebody else comes in and sits down where he was sitting. And he goes, "Where are your papers, young man?" And I go, "Right there." And he goes, "Oh yeah," he signs it. And he goes, "All right, follow the green line." So I finally follow the green line, I turn my papers. I go downstairs, and these two ladies are at the door. I said, "Do you have a job, young man?" And they go, "Yes, I do." I said, "Why do you ask?" So we're here, if you don't, you're trying to find a job. They go, "I already have a job." And then a month later, I got a classification, and you know what my classification was? 4F. That means you're the bottom of the barrel. Now, how I got that, I don't know, but I know that they screwed up because that guy ran out, and that other guy ran in. Maybe he was supposed to run in some other room, but he ran in mine. That's how he got it out. I got a 4F, man. I never would have this.
So is this have you had other jobs besides this, or is this the place you worked all your life?
I used to work for her touring car in Hollywood. I was a station manager in Hollywood for like about 3 years, and there was a Hollywood Burbank Airport. I worked out there too. We had agencies in the valley. We had 12 agencies working with them. And then I got laid off, and then I worked at LA Airport for her for about 6 months. And then this is too crazy down there because it was too crazy. I saw some things that weren't. So I saw a lot of crazy things happen down there because they were open 24/7. So now I got to get out of here. So then I started coming in here and helping out my dad. I'm going to learn some of these things. So I started learning now. Finally started working.
Did your mom work here too?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was born. They were here. Yeah, they were here from 11 a.m. to 2 in the morning, 7 days a week. A lot of hours.
It's a long day. So how old were you when you started working as your job?
I was 21.
After your first experience, when you came back, you said, "I'm going to come back and work here."
Yeah, I was 21 when I started out in the trades. Yeah, I've been bartending now for about 43, 44 years.
You get stumped on break every once in a while. You make something different.
You know, it's funny because I kind of like to make a stand once in a while because somebody will throw out an odd cocktail, you know, a standard, an old cocktail, and I got to think, wow, Rob Roy or something like that. I go, wow, I got to go, okay, what goes into that now? Because nobody orders that.
If I say pink lady, do you know what goes into a pink lady?
That's just a Bacardi and Grenadine. That's a big lady.
Right, you guys have any other questions? Thank you so much. It's wonderful. We really appreciate your time. It's really wonderful. Thank you for keeping this as a
Hey, we're shooting. The red car.
Yeah, well, actually, this is on Sunset Boulevard here. I remember the red car used to come right by here, and I remember getting on that with my mom, and we'd catch it down at the corner and take it all the way down Sunset, and would come into the tunnel right past Belmont High School. Stop there, and then we'd take the stairs up to Broadway and do shopping at the Broadway, and then and that was a treat for me because afterwards we'd go to Clifton's cafeteria. And as a little kid, I go, yeah, we're going to Clifton's. Yeah, let's go. That was really the forest with everything, and that was a unique place. But the red car was right out here. We should have never taken that thing away. Because we wouldn't have the pollution we have nowadays. You know, the oil company, the gas company, they wanted everybody driving cars. So that was the death of the red car. That was like, you know, that went down to the beaches and all over the place. They were fantastic.
Where did you go to elementary school? I forgot that.
I went to Columbia. I didn't go to. Most people went to King and then they went to Marshall. I never went to King, but I knew a lot of people who went to King. And so when I went to Marshall, I got pretty well into it. I went to Magdalena Mary parochial school in Santa Monica for 8 years.
Where were your parents living in?
Right here.
On what street?
Right here, well, actually, Sunset right here.
Oh, literally right here.
I'm local.
I've seen your. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
So these are all the customers, everyone, a lot of regulars bring their own glasses, and this is the collection of them.
Dressing entirely like a very like
Right. I did that.